call it. Deion did call it.
You're live on the air.
Good evening. Happy Friday. I'm going to say every Friday, I'm going to call it Good Friday. Every Friday that I can communicate with you guys on the 1420 AM side. And we are also live at 810 News Media Group. Going to follow up starting next week with a community conversation. I did get the call-in number going, so we're going to be taking our call-ins. I don't know how that's going to work, but like I told you guys, I'm going to advance with my technology. And so this is the first step. We got a juicy set for you. Like I said, this is a community conversation. I am your host, Carol, and I have my co-host here, Mr. Michael Clack. And we got some stuff to talk about. Of course, we're going to talk about our Flint politics, but I also like to talk to you guys about things that's going on around the country as well as around the world, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on outside of Flint that will ultimately end up affecting Flint. I don't know if you've heard, but Iran-backed militants have been through Yemen, have been bombing U.S. vessels. They're calling themselves the Houthis, and they have hit several U.S. vessels. So, few nights ago, 4 nights straight, they fired over 30 missiles, striking back. Also, Texas residents are fighting for a particular area. Because it's being taken over by Chinese militants and Chinese migrants. I'm sorry. It's being taken over by Chinese migrants, and they're illegal, and they're being illegally smuggled into this country, and they're coming from Ecuador, to my understanding. And once they come through Ecuador, they're entering the United States. They're saying through San Diego, as well as our southern border in Texas is being taken over. You have a standoff going on.
Wait a minute. The Chinese people coming from Ecuador?
The Chinese people are migrating from Ecuador. Over 31,000 Chinese migrants came to the United States last week illegally. From Ecuador. They're coming through Ecuador and they're entering the United States through San Diego. And you also have a section of the southern border down in Texas that you actually have residents fighting the federal government about, because the Border Patrol, the Federal Border Patrol is saying these people can come and, they have something set up, but the residents are saying you're letting illegal migrants in. You some of these people are human trafficking. You have no way to track them once they're in the area, let alone through the country. And so they feel like they have to fight for this particular territory.
What's the governor of Texas? Abbott. Is that his name?
I don't know, because they didn't even mention him in the story.
Well, he's shipping everybody all over the country.
Well, they said that, but I don't know if it's him shipping them or if it's the federal government.
No, once they come to Texas, he put them on planes
and send them somewhere else. Okay, I did hear that, because they were sending them to Kamala and them send a bunch of them to Kamala's house. But this new situation with these Chinese, they haven't even been talking about this, but apparently this has been going on for a minute. But back to what Michael, we were talking about Texas. Yeah. You have a bunch of citizens at the southern border that are actually fighting this. A particular park in a lake, they said a lady illegally crossing into the United States and her 2 kids drowned because United States citizens in the area refused to let the federal Border Patrol people in to save her, and she ultimately drowned. It's like they're claiming what do they call it?
You can catch a charge for helping the people. You know what I mean? Like, you can't give them food. Can't give them shelter.
Oh, really?
You can't give them sleeping bags. Like, I believe you can catch a charge for helping them.
Well,
I know somebody out there.
The Texas. People in Texas is not helping them. Okay. And it's a serious influx. And it says they're seeking U.S. asylum, but they're not being documented or not set on a path to be documented. And they're saying that a lot of these people that are coming into the country, these other countries are letting their prisoners out and allowing them to come over here. So we're not always getting the best. Sometimes we're getting their worst, and we're not tracking them. They're not letting us know that they're sending us prisoners. But this is my problem. I said all this, and then I'm going to speak on some other things. I don't want to get ahead of myself. They're saying their prosecutor over in Ecuador is investigating so many crimes and assassinations that apparently things are out of control over there. So they're sending all these people to our southern border.
Ecuador just hired. I mean, they just elected that new dictator, right? The new guy. Ecuador.
Is it? I don't know about Ecuador, but I know that they're saying that they're letting some of these people are probably prisoners as well. And they're saying that the cartel is actually operating a portion of the southern border, is what I could gather. But the saddest part about this is they're talking about all this human trafficking and the undocumented immigrants, and how they can't seem to get it right. This is my thought on this. And then you guys tell me, you'll get a chance to call in and tell me what you think. This is my first problem. I'm all for it. I done put the phone down and then forgot that I'm even on 1420. I hope you guys can still hear me. The problem I have with this whole Ecuador thing, and in case you didn't hear me on 1420, there's been 31,000 Chinese migrants influxing into our country through El Salvador by way of San Diego. And they're saying that some of these people are probably prisoners being released into our country from these other countries, and they're not being tracked. Here's my issue. They're saying that they're human trafficking. Okay, when they come to our border, this is my thing. Even if they have a case that is supposed to be heard, because I saw a story where one man came here, he's waiting to get his paperwork, but he's actually a truck driver. Okay, he hasn't had his day in court or any of that. He's on the road over here trucking. Now, he might be an honest guy and a good guy and all of this type of stuff, but he's learning the layout of the land. We don't know who these people are. We don't know. They might be, first of all, let's trust that there will be some criminals and some terrorists coming in with the honest people. Okay, they're going to blend in. They're not going to all just stand out. Now, this is my thing. They can track everything and everybody in our community. They can pick us up. You mean to tell me, and they're talking about the biggest concern for these people protecting the southern border in Texas is the human trafficking issue. And I agree, human trafficking and these kids coming up missing, we can't just let them over here undocumented. If it was me on the border, when you come through here, I got to have that DNA sample. And I can't understand why our government can't figure that out, because before you go to court or anything, I need your DNA sample. If you got kids, I need their DNA sample, because that'll tell me if these your kids. See, some of this can be slowed down with some basic logistics. First of all, you come. Why can't I? You an illegal immigrant coming into my country. How come I can't? If you want to come,
it's America. You still got some rights.
You ain't got no rights if you're an illegal immigrant. What rights you got? You crossing illegally.
You're right, but they still feeding them, paying them, giving them rides and plane tickets and all that type of stuff too. So they got some type of rights.
Okay, well, you can have some rights, and I got a right to your DNA. And you gonna give it up. If you got if you an illegal immigrant, you ain't got no rights. You ain't even supposed to be over here.
You're right, but you just can't be walking around poking everybody though, can you?
Yeah, I can. If you coming into my country, you don't have any paperwork. I don't know where you came from. You got 2 or 3 kids with you. I don't even know if these your kids. You might be coming over here to prostitute these kids.
That's true.
Okay.
Too.
I don't know what you on. So just in case something jump off, I'm gonna have you in the database. And if some rapes jump off, I'm gonna have your DNA in the database. So when I pick you up after these women have been raped, you going to jail. In this country, ain't no go back to your country. And no, you gonna do some jail time. This is my thoughts. Nah, this ain't law. This is Carol. First of all, if you're an illegal immigrant and we just gonna turn you loose and let you be around here working.
I don't agree with that.
You might not agree with it, but this is what I would do to keep up with the people.
Right.
I need your DNA sample. I need to know these is your kids.
I'm talking about. Okay.
Now, because they letting people and truck drive and
pick all type of
and doing ain't no telling what they doing.
They doing everything. Right. They hiring them.
So now,
Home Depot standing out there.
That's what I'm saying. So now I got to be able to, when you do something you ain't got no business doing. Oh, we got some DNA. That's Carol. That's Michael Clack. Oh, we know he came in through here. But we can't find him. Okay. Well, so-and-so's DNA up in Indiana, that's a first cousin. See, that's how they try.
But you can't find. They done walked 2,000 miles in 6 weeks. They ain't finna just stay in Indiana.
I'm saying if I got your DNA and you've done something wrong, and another one of your relatives and came in here, I can tell if that's your first cousin, second cousin, third cousin. You don't even know nobody in this country. So you're going to need somebody to lean on. So let me stop by your cousin's house where your cousin said he was at. See, that's how you can kind of keep up with some of this illegal moving around. Now, it ain't going to be 100%, but I'm saying let's start there. That would be the first place I started, especially when you got some kids. I got to have that DNA, because if these ain't your kids, guess what? Where they parents at? Because when you got two little kids and ain't none of their DNA, your DNA, and you can't tell me nothing about their mama and daddy, guess what this tells me? You might be a criminal. You ain't their babysitter. You might. So now guess what I got to do with you? I got to obtain these kids, and I got to take you in for some interrogation. And if you can't come up with nothing, you right back in prison, because that's probably what you was doing in your other country. So that, that would be my thought on that, the DNA thing. But also, I'm saying on illegal immigrants. I don't care what color you are. If you coming in this country and you ain't got no kind of you ain't documented, you undocumented, you got to give up a DNA sample. Now, yes, we already know we ain't got to get no DNA sample. They'll lock us up with no evidence, no DNA, no witnesses or nothing. So ain't no needing us. We already know how that go. So with the DNA thing,
that's what I'm saying, Renee.
That's what she said. Like, they are housing them and giving it right. That's why I got to have their DNA. If I'm gonna be feeding you, housing you, I got to know who you are and what you've done prior to coming to this country. I can't just let you just go buck wild loose around here.
Yeah.
So I would have to keep a little eye on them. And then if we're providing for them, because this is my thing. When I call Marvin, have you been looking for a job? And if I say no, I don't get my benefits that I've earned. So while we giving them all this stuff, what kind of skills you got? Because it's all kind of unemployment help wanted signs around here.
No, yeah, but they do work that most of us ain't really gonna do. You know what I mean? Like,
all right, let's get them started.
They're gonna be in them fields just like we finna have some fields up here. They're gonna be working in them apple orchards in a couple of years.
Let's get it going.
So let's
get it going. Some of us gonna be in there too.
Yeah,
with what we got. You might not be in there, but it's gonna be some minority. Because do you see what's going on with your local government?
Yeah.
There is no possible way minorities and people that are not with the system we have, you're going to need a hookup. And the way the job market is going, and you got to know somebody to get the job. It ain't really what you know and how well you do. Mm-hmm. With those type of situations being in play, we're going to be limited. But I am a firm believer that we will also have to go back to doing the stuff that our grandparents did for survival. We back to the barter system.
That's one thing that I do really agree with, because your grandparents, our grandparents most of them came from the South. Most of us, are descendants of slaves. So what the slaves do? They worked in the fields. They knew how to farm. At least they knew how to farm.
They knew how to cook. They knew how to sew. They called them skilled labor after slavery. Black people were considered skilled labor.
If something was to happen and all the grocery stores closed, how many people would be able to survive? Producing their own. Right. What I mean? Like, we don't have them type of skills. All of us don't. I could, some of us could, but like, we have gotten completely out of that.
Let me put this out here. All right, we're getting ready to wrap up on the 1420 side. If you want to continue the conversation, you will be able to call in. The phone number to call in is 810-893-0107. We're talking about illegal immigration and being able to be self-sustaining during this time. So we thank you for rocking with us. Please tune in. Please catch us on Facebook or call in. We're still with you, and the conversation will continue until next week. We love you, and to love somebody else and love yourself more importantly, and keep rolling and call in. We're going to open it up in a minute. And I just feel like we got to get back to agriculture, because look at all these black people went to jail for selling weed. All these black folks went to jail for selling. We filled up the penitentiary for selling weed. And ain't none of us get to get no weed stove. Ain't none of. Oh, no, I'm not. It's a habit. When I'm live, it's a habit. So ain't none of us got no weed dispensaries. Ain't none of us got.
One of my homeboys did.
He get one.
Yeah,
one of your
when
homeboys.
When they first came out.
Right.
When they first came. Now the license.
He don't have it no more? What happened?
I think that was giving him some hassles. I don't remember.
So they hassled him out the bid. See, that's how they do us.
Yeah,
when the game get good, the money get back. Oh, you ain't got. Just like I was watching in Mississippi, this man had a chicken farm. He had it for many, many generations. He almost had it paid off. Of course, they came with the trickery, took his land, and I reported on 1420 about this. They took his land, and then they sold it for less than what he owed. And then his son tried to buy it back. They wouldn't sell it to his son. And his son was going to buy it back and pay it off for what he owed. They sold it to a white man for less than what he owed. Okay? Because it was time to make profits. He had weathered the storm. The land was finna be paid off. He had got his little, his little agricultural equipment, because that equipment is high. And they count on, if we have the skills to do the work, we don't have the money. We don't have the capital to buy the tractors and the equipment, and they're not going to give you a loan because
a lot of them don't either. They be getting them grants and stuff.
Well, yeah, they're not going to give us a grant though. That's the thing. Anything that will help you with that, we're never included in that process. They tell us about that when the process is over. Just like what's going on in Flint with the ARPA dollars. All them people with their so-called nonprofits, they moved the money where the people couldn't get it, which it was delegated for the people. I don't know how they think that's legal. But here's my thing on that. Everybody see they breaking the law, but the law ain't showing up. That means the law has approved it, okay? The law is okay with it. And Flint is going to be rebuilt, but they don't want you and I here. They don't want you and me capitalizing. They don't want me and you to have a stake. They don't want you to own a business because it's going to be big dollars generated here, and they're not for you. They're not. Those dollars aren't for us. We've weathered the storm. We kept Flint going. We scuffled. We were on our knees and our knuckles hanging on. And now that it's on the upswing, we got all these Judases who look like us, pretending like they're with us, pretending like they're for us, praying they can get a grant on the backside and cut our throat. You got some of these Judases, they everywhere, but they never do anything for the cause, but they know everything about everything, but yet they can't help you do nothing. Look, Flint, it's time to open your eyes, okay? Everybody that comes sit with you and raise a little hell ain't necessarily with you, okay? They can't make a fool out you if they don't grin in your face. And that, I just feel like that's what's happening why we can't come up. What you think about that, Michael Clack?
I think that's very true. A lot of that, I agree. The crazy part is the more you start to tell the truth, and the more you speak about the wrongdoing, the more radical you become, and the more enemies you get. You know what I mean? Like, that's the crazy part about it. I ain't signed up for that. I signed up, you know what I'm saying? In so many words, I signed up to be a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean a real one.
Right.
And I'm not, and excuse me for saying that, but like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not talking about
for the cause,
here in the streets.
For the
I'm
cause.
I'm talking about a real, you know
Black
what I'm saying?
Causes,
Yeah, so that's what I'm excuse me, that's what I'm talking about. I signed up to help as many people as I could. You know what I'm saying? Like, how I just don't, I can't understand is I can't understand how you could be from here, born and raised here, to spend all your time here, and then as soon as you get to where you go get to, you turn your back on the people that got you here. You know what I'm saying? The people you've been running with your whole life. I don't get it. If I couldn't do it, I couldn't be walking around here comfortable and, you know what I'm saying, chilling, going to the corner store, doing what I need to do if I done sold everybody out.
Well, I think part of the problem with our city is some of us are too ignorant to realize we're being sold out. Some of us, I heard some people, some black folks sitting up, I think I said that you bragging because they got a rich man's cell phone number. How stupid, simple-minded, and petty are you because you got somebody's cell phone? They ain't gonna do nothing but kick you to voicemail when they done pimping you out and using you up.
I bet you
fool.
they ain't got your number.
They got about, and they probably got about 15 numbers on that one phone. You can get them for free. My producer, Mickey, taught me that. I'm learning something over here at 810, okay? I'm not just here to hang out. They teaching me some things, and I'm grateful for it. But the point is, if you having a rich man's number make you think you've arrived, you the first fool they gonna put in the front of the line. You easy. A phone number, I ain't got to give you nothing but my phone number, and you ready to sell out your brother and sister. And then at the end of the day, when all the selling out is done, you can't figure out why you can't make it. Why you still right here with Carol, Mickey, and Mike after you done sold your soul to the devil.
Yes, sir, Kermit.
Okay, ain't no honor among thieves. And if you will rob your people and cut my throat, you definitely a thief. Don't think if you betray your people, you not a thief. You morally bankrupt. Okay, you morally bankrupt. You inadequate, and you lower than low. That's low when you that petty. How you think somebody in power want to be bothered with you when you really literally dirt? I'm turning you into Judas. I'm coming to you as a person outside your community, your culture, your family, and I'm telling you, cut your brother throat, and you so stupid and desperate to be something, because that's a nothing that will do something like that and think they've arrived because you finna sell your people out. See, you something for 10 minutes, but after they've done us, guess who getting done next? When the bus pull off with all them rich people and they done used up all these Judases, know that Judas won't be on the bus. They're going to be looking out the window at you, Judas, and talking about how they going to send the wagon back for you. Just wait.
But see, it comes full circle because we're talking about our people, not all of us, but our people. The same ones that get hyped to go and buy $1,200 gym shoes, $800 blue jeans.
We gotta stop.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wear Gucci flip flops. You know what I'm saying? I wear Gucci glasses. I don't even know all the brand, the new stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know none of that. The young kids, I don't even know none of that stuff. Like the purple label and all that stuff. Like, all that stuff costs a lot of money. Like, so labels mean something to us. Well, not all of us, but you know what I'm saying? Well, like to the ones that have that mindset, like if you thinking that you are somebody because you out here buying $800 shoes, then you probably might think you the shit if you got somebody rich phone number.
Well, this is the thing too.
That your value is in
things.
Yeah.
And this goes back to last week when I talked about the music culture. See, when we had EPMD and all them out, self-destruction, mindful rap. See, the rap labels came and said, we don't want to hear about that. They didn't want our culture to be mindful. So the next way that we want to hear you talk about,
gangster
excuse
rap.
My French, we want to hear you talk about some of them bitches and hoes gangster in your community. And then some little sagging sucker who came from nothing, who dirt piss po probably, who this is his only opportunity. And really, them type of women is probably all he know. He probably don't know no nice ladies that's educated and go to work every day and cook meals for their kids and don't let men run in and out of dough and ain't drugging. And, you know, he probably don't know no ladies like that. I don't know where he's from. So then to get the bag.
Attention is a new drug.
Yeah, attention. Yes, it is. Because people selling their soul for likes on Facebook. For 10,000 likes.
Molly and Percocet.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then some guy, one man, I hear about it on what's this song with and I like this song too. You can't tell me I ain't fly. And that's Kodak Black, but he talk about Xanaril or Xanaril or some drug he's talking about.
Oh, you talking about him and what's the dude name?
Kodak Black, my baby daddy, Gucci Mane. I love Gucci Mane. And Bruno Mars. Well, he Anaril. He gets to talk about Anaril or something like this. So I'm talking to
Oh, he'd be like, I'm on Adderall.
Yeah, Adderall.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm talking to a guy, and I'm at the dispensary. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm at the dispensary, and I'm looking around, and you know, and I'm a lame. I'm gonna say it. I'm a lame. So I'm like, what is this? Because there's so much new stuff in there, and so much is going on. So I'm like, what is this? What is it? And he's like, oh, you're kidding around. You probably know Adderall. And he went to naming all these drugs. I'm like, hold on, son. I've heard of it in music. I don't know nothing about all that. Okay. And I'm a grown woman, so I ain't got a front. Because whatever I'm doing, I'm paying for it. I work for mine, okay? But I'm very honest about who I am. And so I'm sitting up here, and I'm in there looking for a young lady by the name of Nay who speaks a foreign language, who has went back to school to be a doctor. So I'm going in there looking for this young lady who's working. So, and I'm asking around too, because I ain't gonna go, I'm just here for Nay, you know. So, and they inform me she's already left for school, so I'm wishing her all the best of luck. But he's assuming that I know something about all these things that I know nothing about. So my point is, just because somebody is from a certain culture, you can't assume that they know about all that. You can't assume they know about the new Jordans. That don't drive everybody. That might drive somebody, but not everybody. Some of us are becoming more conscious because we see what happened to those rappers who talked about those things. Look at Puffy. You say, I'm going to stay on him. I'm not letting him make it. Because, see, he blew up and he was rich. He a billionaire now. But look at the disgrace and the demise that brung him down.
Why you got to be nasty, though, when you get money? Like, why
that's
you,
how
why
we
you
are. They
be a weirdo.
We think, but we do. They all be weird.
I was about to say, it ain't just the black people. The white people weird too.
Like we said, the tennis shoes, the cars, you going broke, your car getting repossessed. You ain't even got nowhere to stay, but you got a Bentley. We have, and when they took discipline out the school and from the parents, okay, we were already as black women becoming single mothers and seeing our households without fathers. And then this music shifted because music can teach kids how to read, write, learn. I remember some songs like, remember this? Conjunction, junction, what's your function? That's how I learned about my conjunctions and stuff.
But it was a time, not to cut you off. That's what I was going to say.
Well, yeah. Well, my point is,
gotcha.
Song period. Yeah. Them little kids know all them rap songs.
No, because what I was going to say, I was listening to something earlier. What you're talking about is correct. They were speaking of what you were saying. Because they were saying when we had, like, we had Public Enemy. Right. We had KRS One. Yes. We had Poor Righteous Teacher. Yes. And the person was saying, like, really how gangster rap got misconstrued, but it was the powers that be. Don't get me wrong. Yes. And they was talking about C. Dolores Tucker. Remember her when she was talking about the language in the rap? Yes. She was like about the bitches and hoes. They wanted to take it out, but what it was, people like Warner Brothers, the powers that be. Like a lot of people don't understand that the person
that Tucker was the one who accused Tupac of
rape. She was the one. She was the senator. She was the one trying to tell him get rid of rap.
Okay, I got my people mixed up. Right. Yeah. Okay.
So with Dolores Tucker, but he made a song about her because it was the way they was getting money. But when you got these program directors, these 60-year-old, and it's not no knock. I'm just gonna tell the truth.
Right.
When they be white men, how can they tell us what our music that we want to hear? Well, but going back to but see, the drug culture came in. And what you saw was rappers was just saying,
talking about what they
had saw.
Right.
Like when NWA,
yes.
Easy, when he was saying like F the police.
Right.
It was because it was really police brutality.
But let me say this. I'm glad you brought that up. Because they'll let him call black women hoes, talk about whooping them, drugging them and everything. Yeah. But he couldn't say F the police. You're not going to disrespect the man. Now you can disrespect your women. You could talk about F your kids, you ain't gonna take care of not one of them. You can talk about all your baby mamas as hoes. You can talk about your mama being a dope fiend. But you not finna disrespect this law enforcement. And you ain't gonna call none of them nice girls. Okay, for example, Kobe Bryant. This girl worked at the hotel, went up there with him, had 2 or 3 different people semen's on her. 2 or 3, she had more than one male sperm sample DNA on her, and she still sued Kobe. Okay, and let me say this: Tiger Woods. Them women willfully went with Tiger Woods, and they knew he was married, and he didn't give them a dime. But when they went to court, what happened? He had to break them off, didn't he? He had to break them off, didn't he? You're not gonna misuse them. You can misuse us, and then I'm gonna take it a step further. Right. Go ahead after that. Look at these rich celebrities, how they can take their children from their mothers. Usher, Dwayne Wade, and so many others, okay? Without a scuffle, you can't. Usher, one of his kids almost died. He left it with the nanny. The baby went under in the pool. He wasn't even there. The mother still couldn't get her child back. They let these rich men take these kids from these black women, but you're not going to do that to other women. You're going to take care of them women, and you're going to take care of your kids. Look at R. Kelly. How he out here in concert, ain't paying, selling out concerts all around the world, and ain't paying his baby mama child support. The same thing with Puff Daddy. His baby mama lost the house because he wasn't paying it. How do these rich black men stay out here making all those millions, become billionaires, and not pay their black baby mamas child support? See, it's more this. It's a mess out here.
That's true, though.
It's a mess.
No, I read on this.
I did too.
It's a mess. What is allowed to happen to us Okay, because they know, and I'm gonna say this while I have your ear. They know we hold you guys up. Whenever you get done, when you at your lowest, even if you ain't got a woman that'll hold you up, if you've been a decent black man, you got a grandmama, a auntie, a godmama, a cousin, a niece, or somebody that'll let you lay on their couch. We stay down for our men, even when you at your worst. Okay?
Why you pointing at me?
No, I'm just saying. Because y'all black men.
You ain't pointing at me.
No, I went all around.
You said
all
even when you at your worst.
Well, not, okay, well.
You ain't saying.
Look. So my point is, the division in our community, we're seeing it in our politics now.
No, okay, and I agree with you.
The rap music, where it used to be conscious, like now, what I do like about the rappers nowadays, they concentrating on family. Cause see, all them rappers, Easy and all them, most of them that was hot back then, that fell for the F&B and all this, they broke. A lot of them didn't make it. Okay, because you bought cars.
No, remember Easy died with age.
I know he died with that. I'm not just saying him particular. I'm saying a lot of rappers from that era that should have been billionaires are struggling.
But I can tell you why that a lot of them wasn't as conscious. Because think about it.
Yes, because it was about cars, designer clothes. What do you say?
No. What I mean by conscious is a lot of them was used to going. I'm just gonna say this: the New York rappers, they had all the record companies in New York, so they was being. It was easy. They could go to get a record deal walking out. But down south and the West Coast, they really was your entrepreneurs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They was entrepreneurs where they was selling it. That's why you seen a lot of the powers that be really was getting mad. They didn't like how down south. That's why they say it wasn't money until the rap game till P came in.
Right. Well, see, it all depended.
He was showing them how to get paid because they was going through.
He probably showed them how to circumvent, navigate the system on a lower level where we are that had never been done on our level before.
Yeah, because he got to deal with that.
But then look at Ice Cube.
But the
by himself independently, but he had to break off from. Remember when they fell out with the?
But it was still like when Cube was still in Priority Records. He was still tied to something. P got something because they really thought he wasn't a great rapper. When he owned 80%, he owned his own stuff. Mm-hmm. See, they thought they was really gonna fool him when really he knew about his marketing.
Oh yeah, because he knew what he said, because he knew how many tapes and CDs he had sold out his trunk. That's why Master P was able to take them to school. He had already done his homework.
That's what I'm saying. But a lot of the ones before that wasn't like that.
And that's what I'm saying, because back to what Mike said, they were rapping about tennis shoes, jewelry, Jordans. Can I get a what? Remember that? Oh, they was talking about outfit. Foxy Brown, she want the baguettes, the DKM. Yeah. All of those rappers promoted material things and dope dealing. And even Little Kim act like she was. And I'm gonna say something about the female rappers, because they all act like they selling their body and getting rich. If you was getting rich selling your body, you wouldn't be rapping. But see, our little girls don't realize you're selling me a lie, so that you don't have to sell your body, so that you don't have to be out here toting work and all this. The call-in number is 810-893-0107. And I guess we should be taking calls in. Now you getting to the grits ownership. Okay. So call in, y'all, if the number is working, because this is a new number and y'all know I'm so technology illiterate, but it all plays over and over again.
So here's the thing. Though this is just, the views of Mike Clack are strictly those of Mike Clack. I ain't gonna put my views off on nobody else. The reason why, because we started talking about it and I think we kind of drifted off, but the reason why the music game has shifted like that is because constant control is needed. And just like you said, Carol, music can make your mood change. Music can make you happy. Music can make you sad.
Yes.
Music can make you mad when you want to. I remember, in high school when I was
making music. Music will get you pregnant.
Right, but I was gonna say, when I'm gonna get ready for a football game, I'm throwing on Master P. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I thought about that today.
Master P. Yeah. And then you was gonna say something?
I was gonna say, you go ahead. I want to see how y'all feel about this. I was listening to somebody today when they the people who control the music industry, you will not get it if you don't make a ratchet song.
Exactly. They won't sign you.
That's what
they let them know. That's what you got to talk about. Well, we tell you to talk about if you want to make these millions. If you want to,
is that not selling out your people?
That's slavery. But this is what I can say.
You don't see you might see some Hispanics doing it because they in hip hop just like we are, but you don't see that many white people out here talking about I'm finna spin the block and kill her. You know what I'm saying? Well, you see our people saying I'm finna kill a nigga. I'm finna make a video about it. I'm gonna make a song about it. I'm gonna put you in this blunt, roll you up and smoke you. You know what I'm saying? Like you see,
and you know what else they don't never put in the rap that makes me so mad. They don't never rap about how they asked me in jail crying. As soon as the police ask you something, you tell on everybody, and then you, mama, he done killed 75 people.
J. Cole is
in court, get to crying, and calling for their mama. This a grown man and a killer.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Stephanie Rogers Common had to jump out there and start acting. The conscious rappers don't get no love.
Don't make it. Because what was them? This was my jam. When he's talking about why did they have to try African? I'm everyday people. What happened to them? They didn't make it. You know, like that you said.
Tennessee. Arrested Development.
Arrested Development. You know, those people know, and you know why? Because that ain't what they want to hear. And then that ain't what they gonna promote. Even if we want to hear that ain't available.
But then again, we gotta bring it back to look at the government. If you want the people to act right, they gotta act right. Our federal government they can't even get a budget. They can't even agree on it. But we finna shut down again.
No, they just passed it.
Okay, well, I'm hypothetically saying, but then we finna look at that's the federal government, the local government, all of them, and we ain't perfect. I'm talking about the school board, but then we finna go into World War III. Y'all better go buy some bullets.
All right, we got a call in. Where's the number working? All right, then you on a community conversation.
That's the dime stuff. Was cool to see you mess with them Koreans. Yeah,
let me see.
It's gonna happen because old boy over
caller.
there.
We got a caller. Let's see what's happening. Hello. The phone ain't working. I'm sorry, callers, and I got you on intercom and everything, and it's hooked up to my watch. Maybe I should turn the watch off, huh? Think it'll work if I turn the watch off? Okay, caller, could you call back? I'm so sorry. I promise I'm gonna get this together.
I just went and bought something the other day, Mama.
Hello?
Yes, they have even.
It says connecting though, so something going on. I don't know. I'm sorry, caller. Call me back. I'm sorry, but anyway, yeah. So that they control the music. Okay, here they go. Let me see. This is a shame. I can't even answer the phone in the name of Jesus.
That's the dumb stuff.
Hello.
That's with them Koreans.
Okay, I got to go back to T-Mobile. The phone is hooked up to everything, and I ain't hearing nothing from nobody. But I know who this is.
Bluetooth off on the phone.
Is that how you do it? Well, I'm finna turn the whole watch off. I'm gonna turn the whole watch off. Okay, now, and I'm finna even reach back out because I know who this was. I'm gonna call them from my regular number because I'm gonna give them their big chance to say what they.
I just look at it when you control your stuff, like we don't control our own music. We don't own the radio station.
Well, that's by design.
We don't own the movie theater. But when we get back, take control, we can put what we need to put on.
Well, you have to have the finances to control something. Hi, Miss Tia. You called in?
Yes, I did.
Okay, go ahead. You're on. Is my mic on?
Good evening. How's everybody doing there?
Can you hear Miss Tia? Can y'all hear Miss Tia?
Hey, Miss Tia.
Can you all hear?
Is it on? Okay, go ahead, Miss Tia.
Okay, I wanted to say good evening to everybody. I wanted to just chime in and give some of my thoughts and concerns on the topic that you guys are speaking about. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a group called MC Breed and the DFC Crew.
Yes.
What did DFC stand for? Was it
Dope Force Connection.
I thought it was Dayton Family Cousins. I swear to God, all these years I've been called the Dayton Family Cousins.
What was it? Wasn't it Dope Force Connection?
The DFC Crew stood for Dope Force Connection.
Yeah.
And the mastermind behind that group was my brother.
Yep.
Chanel Harris.
Yes.
And what happened was they were young guys that were supposed to be friends.
Right.
My brother And I'm going to let him tell his own story when he decides to, but let me just give you a little bit of background.
Yes.
My brother was brought up on music. We were brought up on music. So him loving the music industry and loving music himself, he was always into music. So he put together that album. And in trying to bring his buddies in, he put MC Breed out front, which I told him not to do it back then. He didn't listen to me. But what happened is my brother was locked up when they actually released the album. And when the record company heard the album, they came after who they thought was the talent, which was Mr. Breed. That album sold. It went double platinum. My brother and them did not make the kind of money off that album that they should have made off the album because the record company took from them. Okay.
Yes.
They did not have the business savvy, the business acumen at that young age. They just had the love and the gift for the music. So when you talk about what happens with these companies and the rappers and things of that nature, when you really have a true love for the music, and if you are definitely gifted, the companies are going to come after you, but it is upon you to do your due diligence for the business side of it, for the business aspect of it. And as we know, anything that Black people have made famous, whenever the government finds a way to get money off of it, it becomes theirs.
Yes.
We go back to the numbers. The numbers started in the Black community in order for them to become somewhat successful and to survive. So when the government found a way to make money off of it, they took it.
Yes.
You go back to when you talked about the weed. Weed was illegal because the government didn't know how to get money off of it. But when the government found a way to get money off of it, now it becomes theirs. It belongs to them. Just like with our hip hop music, our gangster rap music, when the government finds a way, the music, and I'm talking about government being on down to the music industry. When they find a way to make money off of it, they take it. That's what happens.
Yes.
That's what tends to happen.
Yes.
So let's just really be real. And it is sad on another note that we have people that share our same skin color, but they don't share our same morals and our same values. So because you have people who don't know who they are, they will sell themselves out, like you said, for clicks, views, to be liked, for the number of a millionaire or well-off person. What good is that going to do you? It's not going to do you any good.
See?
Right.
But when it's all said and done, look at what happened to the people who forget from whence they come. They have to come back to the community.
Yes, they do.
Just hope that the community is there for you when you need them. So I just wanted to add a few things in on you guys' conversation. I'll continue to watch from my seat. So you guys have a good evening.
Thank you so much.
That's just like all them poor folks that voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Like if you ain't making $400,000 a year, you ain't got no business, no business voting for somebody like him.
Well, let me say this, because I'm glad you brought that up, because this is this the worst thing. He deported thousands of people, tricked them people down in Southwest Detroit and had them buses over there waiting for them and deported their tails. People in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, the Mexicans, their kids was at school. They went and got their parents and deported them. They had one little girl crying and saying, "Mr. President, my father is not a criminal. He is a nice man," begging for her daddy. But yet in Texas and all them little, where the Mexicans live, they all trying to vote for Donald Trump. And he took your kids when you vote, walking across the border. Half of them, we don't even know where them kids at to this day. But guess who's supporting Donald? I don't know how anybody that's foreign could support Donald Trump. But I'm going to tell you, and I should not be doing this, and God probably going to give me. But do y'all remember that black man? What was his name? Herman, I think.
Herman Cain.
Yeah. Oh, blacks for Trump. Oh, blacks for Trump, and Trump. And he caught COVID and dropped dead, and Donald Trump ain't mentioned him yet. Okay. And he caught that COVID. He was at that Trump rally where Trump was telling you COVID wasn't real, don't wear no mask.
But he done when it got vaccinated.
And yeah. And he out there vaccinated and got all these people that believe in him. He telling y'all COVID ain't real because you a sucker. And guess what? Sent them up to January 6th. They stormed it, half of them in jail, but guess what? You got a bunch of fools dying to vote for him again. Can't nobody pimp you out, misuse you, and dog walk your tail.
This is like my retribution. Like, he about to go get revenge and throw everybody in jail.
Biden
gonna be in jail.
And it's gonna be a dictatorship. And that's what I love about Poe. And then they was going to these Trump rallies. He looked out into the audience and said, why do his supporters look so poor one time? Because your supporters did. Now, and then a president said this, and I can't remember his name, so I ain't gonna lie. But he said you can take the rock bottom, poorest white person.
I already know who it is.
And make them think they're better than the
richest black person.
Than the best black person. And you can empty their wallet, even though it's already
Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Yes, it was. Yes. And you know what? He's right. I see him in the shop all day long. Over 90% of the UAW voted Republican. Now, Republicans is against organized labor. Republicans don't want you to. That's why y'all in there stealing people overtime. But yet, Mighty Whitey, I'm going to call it Mighty Whitey, and I ain't talking about all white people. I'm talking about white people who think they're better than other people just because they're white. I call them Mighty Whitey. Mighty Whitey, go vote for Donald Trump. No, and then a lot of them people in the shop, if they ain't working overtime, they lose everything they got. They'll kill you for some overtime because they got a cabin up north they can't pay for. They living in Grand Blanc. Them and their wife got a new car. They got 2 or 3 kids. And so now you around there kissing up to the chairman and the union and stealing my overtime. Talking about we union brothers and sisters and voting Republican, pretending like you rich. When you dirt poor and 1 check from being homeless. We went on strike. We wasn't even on strike 30 days. A guy with 40-something years. I'm falling behind on my house note. I'm about to go into foreclosure. We ain't been off but 2 weeks. I thought the house note was a 30-day cycle. I don't know how you pay his bill. But in 2 weeks with 42 years, your house in foreclosure? This is the problem we have. Poor people, working class people, like you said, buying all them. And I like design. I like nice stuff. I ain't finna put my house off, my car off. I'm gonna eat for no Gucci bag. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna give me 1 nice bag, maybe 2, and I'm gonna work them suckers to death. Because what Carol is gonna have is a few dollars in her pocket. Okay, and able to keep a roof over her head whenever it go down. We have to get back. First of all, it comes with our kids. And back to what Mickey was saying, the music industry is like that because you don't see no old people breaking into the music industry. They get young, ambitious people, unknowing, unsuspecting people with a dream that's praying this is their big chance. Okay, that's what they do. They prey on your hopes and your dreams, and then and look at the music industry. Look, they always some drug addicts. They always pimped out and used up when the industry finished with them. Okay, that ain't no accident. Michael Jackson used to sleep in a bubble and wouldn't even eat sugar. Died from an overdose. Do y'all remember when he slept in a bubble? He died from an overdose.
His doctor gave him something.
It don't matter. He used to wouldn't take nothing. And look at what happened.
But when you battling with people, because he needed a propofol so he can get some rest, because he was nervous. You know, he was shook. See, we don't.
You don't need, but propofol. That's an anesthesia.
That's
for when you getting surgery.
But that's the sleep that he needed because he get.
No, that's the sleep they gave him because he was Michael Jackson. You can't get no anesthesiologist to come get you no propofol at your house.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Why you want to sleep that bad? Though?
But that's what they told him. He wanted some sleep. He did. Yeah. He wanted some, but he didn't want to die. They set him up for that.
No, I'm not
because if he a doctor, I can write you. All he needed was a muscle relaxer.
What's the little chewables they get?
They got all kind of stuff. Why you got to have
the little chewables they get?
Why you got to have the medicine for surgery that an anesthesiologist have to administer to get some sleep? He ain't got cancer.
You got to get a degree.
No, the point that I'm making is that, like, even with our politics here, how you can wonder how a person been and had a heart attack, drop dead. When you see the fathom the type of people he was dealing with. Remember, they said Mike was messing with kids. They had all this coming out.
They put a lot on him.
Yeah, I'm saying when you get stuff put on you, that's just like what we go through. Well, I'll just use me as an example. Every other week it's in that that echo chamber. They got a picture of me up where they dogging me out. They saying this and that. But that ain't nothing compared to a person can put a charge on you. How you say you messing with kids, they bring you to the police station, strip you down, take pictures of your I'm just saying.
But let me tell you what's the worst part about that though. When all that happened to him, he was not speaking to nobody in his family, including his mother. See, that's how the devil do you, make a fool out you. Like this one athlete. I won't say his name because he's a personal friend's friend, but his mother worked a regular job like we do, and she would give him her whole check when he was in college because she had to pay his tuition. She was a single mom. She would give him her whole check. So when he went pro in basketball, the person talking to him is a counter, whoever going to tell him basically, now that you're rich, you have to leave people behind, and then going to take a jab at his mama that was sitting in the room. Well, this is a black mama. Okay, a wide open black mama who worked in a factory. And she cussed him out and said, where the F was you at when I was giving him my whole D check? Okay, 2 and 3 weeks in a row and borrowing money to pay my bills. Where was you at then? Don't you ever tell my son what he can and can't do for me. I'll jump across the table and whoop your A. And guess what? You ain't finna be his accountant. Now, some sons wouldn't have listened to their mama or roll with their mama. Mm-hmm. When your mother, and I understand some people don't have good relationships with their mom, and that's something different. But when, and I'm speaking from the heart of me and my mama's relationship. Mm. I wish a nigga would. Don't talk to me about my mama. You can't. My daddy talked about my mama to me, and I told him, wait a minute. And I was a kid. I don't talk about your mama to you, and you're not finna talk about my. That's how you get yourself cut off quick. Disrespecting my mama. I wish somebody that ain't a friend or ain't on my bloodline try to tell me how I can treat my mama. You a fool. But even more than that, you got to have some balls the size of the Grand Canyon to tell a black man to turn his back on his mama that's been down. But because we want it so bad and they know we want it so bad, so many of us will sell out your mama, turn your back on your kids. You see what I'm saying?
But have you thought about this? And how y'all feel? Do y'all notice that most of the agents, just check this out, going back to, what was his name? Satchmo. Not him. I don't want to say him. The other guy, the blues played the trumpet.
Satchmo. Yeah, Satchmo.
Yeah, but did you notice that all of them, even Bird, the jazz player, they was all put on drugs? Yeah. But all of them managers made the money. Look at Chess Records.
Yes.
When you saw, what was his name? The little kid, he was strung out on heroin. They did a movie about Frankie Lyman. The manager.
Yes, that's how they do.
Was paid.
So they can split you up. And that's what make me mad about these groups. So they can split you up, turn y'all against each other, and guess who got all the money? Just like with Easy and them. Yeah, guess who ended up with all the money?
Jerry Heller.
So how in the world, this is what I'm going to say, how in the world, one thing about it, if I came with Mickey and Mike Clack, and we go somewhere in the world, and we make a few dollars, I might fall out with y'all. But the person that's coming between us, I don't have anything to say about y'all to them, because it's just a matter of time. I know before I fall out with them too. If I haven't fell out with y'all too, I'm sure finna fall out with somebody new. Okay, it's just a matter of time. The problem is this: we don't know how to fall out and still love each other. Just because I don't deal with you, just because we don't hang together no more, that don't mean I can't love Mickey and want to see Mickey doing well. Because one thing about it, if ain't no black people doing good, you black, you ain't doing good either. We got to figure that out. You ain't got to pray for your best friend. And if somebody done you wrong and you not spiritual, I can't help you. But if you spiritual and somebody done you wrong, the best thing you can do is turn their tails over to the Lord and stay praying down on their tails. Because one thing about it, when you low down, you cutthroat, you don't have no principles, you do anything for $1, eventually Lucifer is going to come and devour your tail too, because he's no respecter of person. He'll take us all. Okay? And that's why your people in the music industry be strung out. If you don't go along with what the industry say, look at all the talented people we don't hear from no more. You got to do it their way. So back to what I was saying, we back to the time when you need to be an independent navigator.
Got to.
And I like her. That's why she loved LeBron James. Yeah, LeBron James got his best friend. That's who do his negotiating. His boy, and they didn't want. Yep, and then you got the football guy, the new football guy. I was talking about him that just won last week. His mother negotiated his contract. They ain't said that boy name, Lamar Jackson. They ain't said his name all season, and he been tearing tails up. His mother represented him. Ain't no Jews or nobody outside the race getting no money, just him and mama. So he ain't no big deal. If you ain't lacing their pockets, you're not a big deal. But I want to say this to you guys before because I know we want. But I want to say this to you guys.
Talk to him.
It don't take somebody outside of your community to make you a big deal. Just like Jackson State with Deion. The worst thing we did was let all them outsiders in our business. They kept coming, kept going. Look what they did. Now he's somewhere else, which he got a right to go somewhere else. And I'm getting over that. And I still want him to do good, even though I'm mad as hell at him about what he did to our program. I still want him to win because he a black man.
What did he do?
He act like he came to Jackson State in the name of the Lord, and he gonna help black men be upright because they ain't got no guidance and they need other black men. He gonna teach them how to be strong, and he was doing a good job. But when that green-eyed devil showed up, look, damn them black kids, I'm out of here. But what he messed up, this is my thing. He claimed he was staying for 3 years.
Right.
You didn't fulfill your contract. And everything you claim you came, wait, hold on. Everything you say you came for, you aborted when the green-eyed devil showed up. Okay, what make that different?
Wait a minute.
What make that different?
He gave most of his pay
to
the athletic program. He didn't get any of the ticket sales.
Yes, he did. That's a lie. Yes, he did.
They didn't fulfill all their contracts.
Yeah, no, he didn't fulfill all his.
His sons got robbed.
And he lied about that. They found his stuff.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. His assistant had his stuff.
Okay, more than once.
Yeah, the first time somebody did steal his stuff. The second time when he said all those bad things, his assistant had his stuff. He didn't come out and say he found his stuff.
It's a lot more than now. True enough, the man did come. I was rooting for Jackson.
I got the rundown. I'm an alum, so I can tell you about this.
Wait though. I played football at Texas Southern University, the Ocean of Soul.
Okay.
My whole thing was, this rival between TSU and Jackson State, this HBCU football. Now, I was cheering for Jackson State. I love Jackson State. I really was. But when my man decided to leave, why are we upset with him?
Well, because you didn't fulfill your contract. A lot of boys came to Jackson State to get to be under your tutelage.
Right.
Okay, hold on. No. Wait a minute now. Because you can't say you on God's assignment. Because nobody asked him for that. We didn't ask him for that. That's the lie he told when he came in the door now.
Right, but God might have told him.
He didn't say that when he left.
Colorado.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
He also didn't say all this other things that happened too. He said that after he left.
Wait a minute. My point is this. Because see, now it's all right for him to dog his people, but it ain't all right for nobody else to go for theirs.
Who dogged his people?
Well, we started off talking about how we sell out, right? Okay.
But Deion didn't sell out.
I think he did.
How?
Because he didn't fulfill his contract. One, he knew Jackson State was a poor HBCU when he came. He changed. So he knew what the money was. He did get some of the ticket sales. He lied about that. He told a lot of untruths and never came back to tell the truth. Hold on. We ain't talking about what he not did. I'm saying you asked me why we mad. I'm telling you why we mad. Okay. And then all these black kids transferred because he sought them out and told them what he was going to do for their program. Mm-hmm. And the minute he got a chance to go for self, F my people. Now, I ain't mad at him for looking out for himself. But if your cause is for the people, then how is he not a sellout when he turned his back on the people?
He didn't turn his back on the people. For them 2 years, Jackson, Mississippi made more money than they ever made in how many years?
His contract was for 3 years.
Yes, but I'm talking about not just Jackson
What I'm
State.
trying to tell you is when Mighty Whitey see you making money, here he come, Mike.
I'll let you talk.
So you going to leave me because Mighty Whitey going to give you more than me?
It's not about...
Because until Jackson State gave him a coaching job, he couldn't get a coaching job. He was going under. I don't hear nobody talking about that. He been trying to be a coach. Nobody wanted him. And he was a Hall of Famer, a Super Bowler, and all that. We gave him a chance. And when we gave him a chance to shine and he blew up, of course everybody wants you.
That's not true.
That is true.
That's not true.
That is true.
No, it's not.
Well, we're going to do some
Deion Sanders been a high school football coach.
No, college. He wanted to coach.
He wanted to coach his sons. That's why he didn't try to.
Why he didn't go to their other college and coach?
Because his oldest son went to South Carolina.
Well, why he didn't go there and coach?
Because his son, when he came to Jackson State, he transferred in. His youngest son.
He brought his son to Jackson just like he took him to Colorado.
Of course, I would too.
I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him, but here's the problem with that.
He brought a lot of black coaches. Wait a minute though. He brought a lot of black coaches to Jackson State. He brought a lot of NFL.
I'm not discounting none of that. I'm not discounting none of that.
A lot of them are still there. So you can't say he sold out. You might not like what he did, but the word
if you
sold
don't
out
complete,
is not,
if you listen,
that's not what he did.
If you don't complete your agreement,
then that's a breach of contract. Why Jackson State ain't sued him?
Because we're not gonna tear black men down. Because we moved on. This is my personal feeling. I do feel like that. That's worse than suing them, though. I feel like that. I do. Because
if you want to hit somebody, hit him in their pocket. Just don't call him a sellout.
He stripped our whole football program when he left, Mike.
No, he did not.
Is he gonna sit up here now? I'm following this.
How did he strip the program?
Because he took most of the players with him.
Deion took coaches.
Did they sign to Deion or did they sign to Jackson State?
Wait. Deion took players from Alabama, Oregon, Michigan. Did he not? Did people jump in that transfer portal? No.
Well, let me say this because I ain't wishing nothing bad on him, but because of it, let me say this.
Deion took kids from every school. The transfer portal went crazy.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. He stripped Jackson State.
No. Everybody can't. Everybody at Jackson State can't play. Can't do that.
Can't do what?
Everybody didn't go to everybody.
He didn't want everybody. Everybody he wanted, he took.
Everybody. That's not even true. Everybody couldn't go.
Anyway, okay, let me say this. Let me finish this part because he's going to try to justify that. I don't know how that ain't a sellout once you both something and you abort your contract and just dump everybody. But okay, in my class. But this is another thing. I don't know what made him think he was going to go to Colorado, dump all them players, bring his black kids, because you got to face it. My cousin, I play for Ohio State, but my cousin used to play for Colorado, Mr. Sanders. Now, you put your son, for the first time since high school, his son been missing games. You know why? Because they breaking his back. You put your son in a bad position. Everybody ain't going to be happy for that. But that's his choice to make. I'm just saying it's consequences that come along with your rash decision when you jump for that green-eyed devil. Because this was about money, okay? Was it not? Can we agree on that? Or you gonna act like this wasn't about money?
It could be about money.
It could
status,
be. It could be. It could
be about a whole lot.
It was about all of that.
Right, but it wasn't about selling out.
I say so.
It wasn't about selling
out.
Renee
Jackson, Mickey been left. I agree. We need him to speak on the regents of the University of Michigan School Board to bring a football team to you. We need them to do this. Now I can't say
they got a football team.
Let me say this.
These kids
they don't never come to JSU in the first place. Some of them was already there when Deion got there. And we did he brought some people there. That's his job. He's supposed to promote the program. What y'all think he's supposed to just come there and get paid and sit down and look around and be sexy? Come on now. He did his job. Don't get me wrong. He was wonderful.
Practice facility.
He did a lot. He did a lot.
I mean, all type of stuff. So the man, in 2 years, he might not have gave 3, but in 2, my man gave practice facilities.
He did.
I'm talking about.
I ain't knocking him. That's why I'm
mad. Did you see the locker room with TVs and flats all through there?
I graduated from Jackson State. I go all the time. He did. He was a benefit.
I'm talking about. So
he was a benefit.
My man ain't sold out. He ain't did that. He didn't do that.
He didn't fulfill his contract. Jackson State was on the rise.
Not a Tiger anymore.
If you really down,
if you really
you finish your contract. If you for your people, you came to do the right thing. I ain't mad at him. We over it. We still rolling. Okay. And I think eventually
country. Mississippi Valley State.
And I love Valley. Man, shouts out to Valley. And you can say what you like or however you want to view it, but my thought is this: if I'm coming for my people and I stay 2 years and y'all on the upswing, I'm not gonna dump y'all. I'm gonna ride this last year out. Now I might kick you off the car after my contract is fulfilled, and that's my right. I'm not saying he can't grow as an individual. That man got a family to feed. Make your money. What I'm saying is you were bringing so many other people up that was in the culture. You gave vision to so many young black boys who didn't have fathers, and they looked to you. And then you said, you know what? Deion only did Tracy wrong. No, he didn't do Tracy wrong because Tracy got rid of that tail. Tracy said, you know what? And you got to see her on her Instagram, Miss Cheryl, because she cheesing, trying on new outfits. She ain't missing a beat. But Anyway, I would like to see Deion come back. I think we done ran over time. Yeah. I'd like to, and you know, and the sellout, because no matter what, he's a black man. I still love him and I still support him. I'm still mad at him about how he did us, but I do want him to do well. And who I really pray for is, even if he tank, I don't care if I'm gonna be honest. If he tanks, so what, good for, but I want his kids to win. I want his son, because his son was doing so well in football. I want his son to get back where he was, because it's always supposed to be about the kids. Put the children first. Because if you 50, 60 and you ain't got your shine on by then, chances are you might not shine or was meant to shine. Yeah. So pull somebody else up. Don't block the babies from shining because you didn't shine. And I think that's what's going on in Flint. We got a lot of has-beens in positions, and they're not letting other ambitious people who want to do things and come up. They're not letting it turn around. The same gatekeeping that is going on in the music industry, sports, is going on here. A lot of illegalities. And I know you'll talk to Winters and Trevor. So we kind of veered away from that today, because I know you get a lot of that on 810. But Jackson's administration is the real problem. Yes, because Deion, I found out, and I am going to be honest, I'm not going to just drag the man. Him and the president fell out. The president was around there sleeping with all the girls, got somebody pregnant, allegedly, because I don't want to get sued. And they say his wife came up on campus, and her and one of the students he was going with got the thumping. So they do have some administrative problems. I ain't going to blame it all on Deion. I'm a realist. Jackson State got to tighten up. But it's like anything else, when it's going good for us, it's always, here comes Judas, here comes. And I think that we got to start dealing with them accordingly. We can't keep letting them come back after they done jumped the fence and destroyed the community. We got to leave them over there where they sat. That's my thought on it.
He ain't sell out.
Okay, so anyway, okay, Mike Clack said he didn't sell out, so I won't say he sold out. Then I'm gonna find another word to come back with next week, so Mike won't disown me. I'm mad at him still about that, but Jackson State gonna be all right, because we was the bomb before he got there. He did make us better, but we still good. We gonna be all right. And until next Friday, this is a good Friday, and I enjoyed you. Let me see. The president's boss need to get on his behind about that. Oh, and then you got Tate. Tate Reeves is the governor. He tried to appoint a white, they say he was a white supremacist, allegedly, to Jackson State's presidency, but the man wouldn't even take the job, because he already knew it wasn't enough for him around there. He couldn't lay the propaganda down, because let me tell you something. Them black folks down there, they ain't like we are up here. Now, I'm going to let you know. We was at Jackson State. I'm going to let us go. When we was at Jackson State, that's when the Rodney King thing jumped off when I was down there. And also Beckwith, who murdered Medgar Evers, was on trial at the same time. And they had hired a bunch of new police officers and stuff. They was finding police officers dead in the cruiser right behind the school. These young boys had a shootout with the police with the news filming, okay? So they ain't going for that no more. And also, I want to bring light to talk about all the black bodies that have been found behind the Raymond jail in Mississippi. And they one guy's ID was in his pocket, and they never notified his parents. The police hit him and then buried him and ain't said a word. So keep your eyes on stuff like that, because we're being victimized. You have to be honest. And when you see these Judases in your community, y'all, let's stop running in their face. Let's let them know we know who they are. Maybe they'll come back around and do better. We're not holding them accountable. So I think we need to do that as a people. If we're not going to hold them accountable, then, hey, how can we win? Anyway, it's been a good Friday. I've enjoyed you. This has been a community conversation. Next Friday, I'm going to have that phone line bopping like it's supposed to. I'm going to say something next week. I'm going to get a chance to talk. I'm going to make it bopping. Next week, we're going to be bopping. I'm going to have a phone together. I'm going to have myself together. But anyway, I love you guys. Love somebody else. Don't let nobody tell you your worth, okay? Do your thing. Be free. Love yourself. Take care of your village. Love your family. You too can be a boss. And a boss is not a sellout, okay? That means you stick true to your values, you treat people right, and you share the wealth. A boss makes sure everybody that works for them eat. That's when you a boss.